What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Post to Post podcast presented by Corona Premier, the official beer of the Post to Post podcast. This week's episode is episode 111, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Matt Small.
Hey, it's been a while.
It has. I'm very sorry about last week to you and to the listeners. I got some last-minute Bruins tickets for the Thursday night game against the Blue Jackets. It was the Blue Jackets, I think, right?
I can't.
I'm pretty sure it was the Blue Jackets, yep.
Blue Jackets, yeah.
David Posttopostpod, overtime winner, 45 seconds into overtime, yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then we normally record on Fridays. Like I said, that was a Thursday night game that I got to go to. Friday, I was getting on a plane to go to Vegas, so we basically ran into a little conundrum where I had a playoff game Wednesday, Bruins game, and then Vegas.
Yeah.
So we had to push off a week, which kind of sucks because we're leaving a lot of stuff in the dust, just so you guys are caught up.
Mm-hmm.
We're basically going to be looking at what the playoff picture looks like right now, what the rest of the season looks like for the regular season, hopefully a little bit of playoff implication talks right now, but definitely going to be a playoff-focused episode next week. Next week's episode we will be recording on Friday, so that'll drop for you guys on Monday the 17th, which I believe is the day that the NHL playoffs are set to kick off. So
Nice.
I think the timing will work out well for that.
Yeah.
Again, I do apologize that we had to take another week off, thanks to yours truly.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on with you? Let's start with you.
Everything kind of just worked out in your favor, I guess, you lucky bastard.
Yeah. It was definitely... I was lucky until I was unlucky. We'll get into me later. What's been going on with you, though? Everything good?
Yeah, everything's been great. Last time I think we recorded, I was talking about John Wick. And I saw that in theaters. And so for everyone who hasn't seen John Wick 4 yet, go to the fucking theaters right now and see that shit. I'm going to go again. It was so good. 3 hours, and it was still like, damn, I still want more. But it was just so funny because I just went by myself. And when you buy the tickets online, you can see like what seats are reserved.
Yep.
So there were 2 seats reserved where I wanted the line that I wanted to sit at, and I'm like, it's probably a couple. Let me sit like 3 spots to like their left.
So let me ask you this: do you have like a row that you like to be in?
Yeah.
Do you like center, left, or right?
I like to be center a lot.
Center, okay. And then like how far back are you?
Right in the middle, like
for, dead center, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Like.
But do you like the aisle seats?
Not really.
No, you'd rather be like dead middle.
I'd rather be dead
no
middle.
Shit. Do you not get up during a movie?
No.
Good man. I respect that.
Why, you do?
No, fuck that.
Oh no, fuck.
If I'm sitting down and watching a movie, I want to sit down and watch a movie.
No. Yeah, exactly. If I'm sitting down and watching a movie, I'm there.
Yeah.
But
sorry, I went on a tangent there. But
no, you're good. So I sit down. I get there, I sit down. It's literally just me, and I look over to my right. It's not a couple. It's just 2 other dudes. I'm like, whatever. So then probably a few minutes later goes by, and a father and 4 kids show up, and they're like 12, 13-year-old kids. So 2 of them to my right, 2 of the kids to my right, 2 of the kids to my left.
You're in between them?
I'm in between them. So it was like kind of like a weird situation where I'm just like in the middle.
Did you like ask to like switch with one of them?
No, they already sat down. And I was like, all right, this is the situation right now.
No way.
So I don't think they've ever seen a John Wick movie. I think as it blew up, they wanted to go see it. So I just remember like in the beginning of like the movie, they were just kind of like shit talking it, just like joking.
Because there's a lot of build up and stuff, or
yeah. So they were just making jokes, and all of a sudden, like toward the middle of the movie, I'm like, they've been really quiet like lately. So like they're just like hooked, like face first into like the screen. So John Wick, if no one's ever seen John Wick, they don't do it for like the whole movie, but they'll pick a scene or somewhere in a scene that it's just outlandish shit. Like I don't know if they do it as a joke, but it's like when you watch it, you're just like, all right, like
what, like over the top action gore?
Just over the top.
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
Over the top stuff.
Okay.
So it finally happened toward like the end of the movie, and it was just so funny because my peripherals were able to see it, and simultaneously, when the part happened, like both kids simultaneously had like their hands up like this, but it was like halfway. So they're just like, what the hell's that? And like you can hear them like clap like their legs, when to bring down. And then they actually got into like the crazy shit. And simultaneously again, like 30 seconds later, both arms of them go all the way up this time simultaneously, and both like go back down on their legs at the end, and you can hear like the clap.
No
so,
shit,
like, that's fucking hilarious. Like,
that is funny.
What are the odds like simultaneously the same thing?
It's like they all know each other, so like they all kind of think the same, like same friends group kind of mentality, and that's what they do.
And I was just like, in my head, I'm just like, this is definitely the first time I've seen John Wick, because they're just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
Like, it's totally different from the movie. But yeah, they do it, and oh my god, if you're a John Wick fan, just whatsoever, I mean, the fourth one was just, oh man, so good. And they left it with they could make a fifth movie out of it if they really wanted to.
Nice.
But,
Okay.
that was the highlight of my 2 weeks since we've last recorded. I I was gonna say about my hernia. I don't know if we want to talk about that.
Yeah, you don't have to. It's up to you.
So, just
don't be graphic with it.
I'm not
now. I just remembered what the story was about. Don't be graphic.
I'll try not to be graphic whatsoever. So, I think I know how I'm gonna say it.
Okay.
So I just
see how this one goes. You guys might be turning the episode off. A nice 10-minute episode for you. Welcome back.
So I just recently turned 33. And I was just saying, like, oh, this is my birthday gift to myself, is a fucking hernia. So it's like right above my belly button. So like 2 months ago, there was like a little bump there, but you couldn't like tell. You'd have to like really put your finger on it and be like, oh, there's a little bump there. And it just went away. And then literally Sunday night or Monday, it came back but bigger. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then finally around like Tuesday, I was like, oh, I think I have a hernia, because I went at the gym, I started doing like ab workouts again, and I'm like, oh, I definitely fucked myself over doing this shit. So then we played Thursday this week, hockey, and I was like, should I fucking play with the hernia? I'm like Googling and shit. I'm like, fuck it, I'm just going to go for it.
The Googling's the worst, too.
Oh, it's brutal. So like I'm telling all the guys, I was like, hey, I got a hernia, whatever, I'm going to play with it. Third period, halfway through, my defenseman.
Were you mic'd up?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
My defenseman is taking away the pass, and I'm focused on the shooter, and the shooter winds up, takes a clapper, and hits me straight in the fucking hernia. And I was like, oh, God. And I'm like, well, this is a test. If this doesn't rip open the hernia like even more, then I'll be good.
If it's actually a hernia, too, you get hit there, like, oh my God.
So, this morning, because we're recording Friday, this morning I woke up and the stomach area was beet red, and it was more enlarged than it was. And I was like,
you're towing the line right
I know,
now.
I'm on the line here. But I was just like, all right, I need to go to the doctors, because if anyone knows me, I was on Google for like an hour straight. It was like
Matt had a will drafted up. He thinks he's dying.
I was like, there's got to be a way, like, you don't have to go to the doctor for a hernia. Does a hernia fix itself? And every place is like, no, you're gonna need surgery. And I'm like, no, dude, come on. So finally I was like, fuck it, I gotta go get this checked. So today I got a doctor's appointment, got it checked, and the doctor's like looking at it, he's looking at the red and stuff, and he's checking it out. He goes, doesn't seem like a hernia. I'm like, what do you mean? It's a massive bump there. And he kind of explains it to me. He goes, there's like a ingrown. How do I say it?
Just call it a cyst. He had a cyst.
It's like an ingrown cyst or whatever. Like,
I would say ingrown. That's over the line. Just a cyst. Fucking just a cyst.
So I was like, he's like, oh, it's been beet red ever since I took the slap shot thing. He goes, oh, you play hockey? And he goes, I think that's what caused it to burst when you took it. And I'm like, so it's just.
That's it.
That's it. So I'm past the line now, but I am currently on like antibacterial meds or whatever, try to flush it out.
Yep.
But fuck, man, I'll take exactly this over a fucking hernia.
That was probably
any
best
day.
Case scenario.
Best case scenario.
That's awesome.
100%.
I'm glad it worked out for you.
Yeah, because I've been sweating bullets all fucking week. Like, oh my god,
Yeah.
my intestines are like literally just. seeping
Okay,
out right
thank
now.
you. People, if you don't know what a hernia is, you just learned. But I was hoping that we could just, leave that up in the air and people can Google it on their own.
You can Google image it. Yeah, there you go. I didn't realize how common it was. I was reading about it. It goes, yeah, very, very fucking common shit. And I was like, well, my teammate Mark, I was talking to him about it, and he goes, where is it? I guess we have one in the same spot. And he said his doctor was just like, well, he goes, we can do surgery on it, but there's no guarantee it's going to not pop again. So he goes, do what you want to do. So he's just been playing with the hernia for like the past few years.
It's fucked
like,
up.
Damn. Fuck.
Not worth it.
Nope.
Not worth it.
There's my old guy story right there. Me thinking I have to write a last will. I'm on my fucking deathbed. And nope, no hernia. Not yet. Fingers crossed.
For all you listeners, don't trust Google MD. Go to the doctors. Get that shit checked out.
Don't trust Bing.
Yeah.
But let's get right back into you because you won tickets to a beautiful Bruins game. Nice tickets.
Yep.
And then
that was a great night. I had such a good time.
Yeah.
Me and the wife went out to dinner. We went to the Bruins game. I drove in. I didn't drink. We had a great time. Watched the game. Drove back. No traffic. Got out. In out. Easy. $40 for parking.
Shit.
Not bad. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then you decided to jump right on a plane and go straight to Las Vegas.
Yeah, so I got to fly to Vegas for not a bachelor party, but like a buddy of mine's getting married and his family went out for a trip, and they said whoever else can make it can come. And it's basically like a small bachelor party is what I'll describe it as, but it's like he's having a regular bachelor party later on, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So a buddy of mine flies for free on standby. Me and him ended up deciding, hey, we can go, right? So we make it happen. We get to the airport, standby. The first way there, fucking incredible, dude. Like, we're flying for free because a family member of his works for one of the plane companies, right? So we get on, and incredible, right? Like, we got the emergency room, like extra emergency row, extra leg room. Like, if I put my feet out in front of me, I can't touch the seat in front of me.
That's awesome.
It's so sick, right?
Mm-hmm.
We get there, we're like 10 p.m. because go in there, I think it was actually 7 p.m., I think. No, 10 p.m. I forget, whatever. Go in there, we don't lose time, but coming back, we do. I think the flight was 4, we landed at 10, something like that. Long flight. Whatever.
Yeah.
We get there, we check in, we're like, all right, it's kind of late. Let's just, go to the liquor store, go get some food, and then come back to the room and drink some beers. The other guys were all pressuring us, like, let's go out, let's go do something, come meet up with us. But, like, we're in a different hotel from them the first night. So we're like, no, we're just going to do our thing, right? We had a couple beers, went to bed, passed out. And basically, like, we flew in on Friday instead of Saturday, so we wouldn't be jet lagged for whatever we want to do Saturday, right? Like, I looked at it like we shouldn't even be here today.
Right.
So we got a little ration for that, but whatever. 8 a.m., wake up, get some breakfast, smash a 24-ounce can, get the day started. You know what I mean? Just right off the rip. Let's go, right? We meet up with the guys. We chill. We had, like I said, some breakfast, hung out, saw their room, put some stuff away because we were going to their hotel afterwards. So we put our stuff away. We had Top Golf for a couple hours. If you guys have never done Top Golf before, it's awesome. If you're ever in a place that has it, you should definitely try it out. Just really cool. Vegas, basically, the way they price everything, though, is like you have a minimum to rent, this area. So it's like $1,000 minimum between 8 to 10 guys.
Yeah.
And now you have to meet that minimum, otherwise you're getting swiped for $1,000 anyways. So you buy a ton of food, like a bucket of beers, bucket of waters, and just 2 hours of swinging clubs and playing kind of games, So that was really good. We put a 5-leg parlay down. All 4 of the legs hit before we went to the Vegas Golden Knights game. My dumbass suggested that we bet on the Wild because the Wild were on a 3-game winning streak. The Knights were on a 2-game losing streak. So I said, hey, I think the Wild are going to come to town, win the game. You don't bet against the home team when you go into the game in an away stadium. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
this is why you owe 60 push-ups.
Yeah. But also, I was looking at, like, let's hedge our bets. We're going to be happy if the Knights win. And, like, at the time, it's a 5-leg parlay. Like, if the Wild don't cover, like, it's all right. The Knights still won, right? Mm-hmm. Had a great time. We saw some incredible fans, actually. I got a picture right here for you. Some Minnesota Wild fans chirping Mark Stone with a nice Mark Stone as a caveman sign outside the arena for no reason. Vegas is incredible. Open container laws, so you can just be out on the street drinking a beer before the game starts.
That's awesome.
So we just kind of crushed beers, walked around, played a little blackjack here and there. I put some money on the Wild to win. Spoiler alert, they did not win. I also busted our 5-leg parlay. That would have paid out pretty nice. Great time at the game. The intro is awesome. The John Wick song that you were talking about, they do it every period. A giant night head comes down from the ceiling, and they come out that from the gates, But yeah, really good game. They end up winning 4-1 with an empty netter. Leave the game, gas more beers. Kyle and I ended up walking to In-N-Out Burger because I hadn't had that before. Had to get that. We kind of went the long way to get there. There was basically like a big bridge that there was a ton of construction, so we had to walk like all different ways. Halfway over the bridge, we bump into like a 50, 60-year-old Canadian couple, and they stop us because one of us is in a Bruins jersey, Kyle, and one of us is in a Golden Knights jersey. So like, why are you guys together, right? They're like, what are you doing? Like, how do you know each other? So it was kind of weird because like we're with them, but like we kind of like all lined up on like the overpass of the bridge,
Yeah.
but talked in our own separate conversations. So I was talking to the wife, he was talking to the husband, and we were just shooting the shit. And they had beers, we had beers. So we drank on an overpass in Vegas for like half an hour,
awesome.
45 minutes, just
That
shooting
is
the shit.
fucking awesome.
They're from Calgary, really nice folks. So I was glad I bumped into them, but like so random. The fact that they just like stopped and talked to random strangers too.
Canadians are so
Canadian
fucking
kindness,
nice.
right?
Yep.
Red Hot Chili Peppers concert was getting out. We were just messing with people left and right, but people are great out there. So yeah, we got In-N-Out Burger. It was pretty good. It was like above Wendy's, but below Five Guys, which is pretty good.
Okay,
right?
that
Pretty
was
good
gonna be
rating.
my next
right?
question compared
Yeah.
to Five Guys.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like you can't really compare it to Five Guys because it's supposed to be more like fast food than Five Guys, you know?
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Right.
Yep.
But it's good. It was good. Walked back, hung out at the center bar for a bit, went to bed, probably like 2. Passed out, woke up the next day. So we're on standby to get home. 2:00 flight out. All the other guys are on the same flight out. Everybody gets on. They make an announcement. The plane's pretty full. We'll see what we can do. We're like priority 5 and 6. So there's a couple people ahead of us.
Yeah.
We don't get on that one. No big deal. Whatever. Kind of sucks. We were planning on going on the midnight one in case there's a red eye.
Yeah.
So there's 2 flights a day, 2 p.m. and 10:30.
Yeah.
So we sit around the airport for 8 fucking hours. The flight gets delayed 2 hours. So now it's 12:30 and we don't know if we're getting on or not yet. They say the plane's pretty full, but you should get on this time. Like you're priority 2 and 3. Waiting, and then they say, due to high winds, we're not taking any standby today.
Oh,
What the fuck does that mean? Just tell me the plane's full for Christ's sake. Like, you tell me you have room in that plane right now, but you're not taking it because it's windy.
Right.
So we're like, shit, whatever. Get a hotel, crash for the night, back to the airport the next day. We got another 2:00 flight, just me and Kyle hanging at the airport, a couple hours early, like you're supposed to be. We get there, losing our minds a little bit. Like that kind of sucked. This plane is full capacity. No standby. We don't get on. So I'm looking at midnight and I'm like going nuts now because it's 8 more hours I have to sit here. I'm looking at a 10:30 flight. 8 more hours I have to sit here and think about like what happens if I don't get on this next one. What are we gonna do? Like I don't want to go back to the hotel.
Right.
If we don't get on this next one, I'm staying at the airport.
Yeah, I'm sleeping at the
Right.
airport.
So I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, do I buy a ticket? Do I not? Whatever. He's like, there's like 30 seats on this overnight plane. Right. It's now a Monday 10:30 p.m. flight.
Yeah.
So the weekend's over. Not a lot of people are leaving Vegas at that time.
Yeah.
We wait. 10:30 gets delayed to 11:30. Gets delayed to 12:30. We're waiting. Still plenty of seats, obviously. Like 30 seats on this plane.
Yeah, so it should be good.
12 a.m. They come over the loudspeaker. They just told us that the plane hasn't left LA yet. It's only an hour and a half flight to LA, so it's kind of like New York to Boston, 45-minute flight. LA to Las Vegas is an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Hasn't left LA yet. It's actually been taken out of service due to maintenance.
Oh God.
So we don't think this plane's coming, but we have no confirmation yet. So we'll keep you posted, let you know. 12:30 comes around. 12:45. They're like, there's probably like slim chance, like almost no chances it's coming. People start leaving. They're like rebooking flights. Everyone's pissed, chewing these agents apart, and it's like
God.
it kind of sucks. Like I would hate to be those people. Like
Yeah.
that's a tough job to have.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, both nights there were all these issues with like the JFK flights and all these other flights going on. So there's like people that like could be taking these seats on our plane if it goes. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So we're like shitting our pants a little bit.
Yeah.
1:00 comes around. They say, "Hey, we found an aircraft. Good news. Bad news. If those pilots from LA get over here on a different plane and can take this plane, they have like a certain amount of time that they need to get here by before they're not cleared to fly because it's another 5
FRA
hours.
situation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, kind of like the truckers can't drive more than X amount of hours, right?
Yep.
So we're like, fuck, dude, they got the plane. And then they're like, we found some pilots, right? So I'm like, fucking right, dude. Yes, we're getting on this fucking plane. But I like still don't know if we're getting on or not. Also, before that, when they said like, we don't know if this plane's going, I'm watching the flights, the seats on another flight just dwindle. They're, like tomorrow, 2 p.m., right? The next day, like a backup plan. 19 seats, 17 seats, 12 seats. I'm like, oh, fuck, dude. I wake my wife up. It's like 5 a.m. here, like 1 a.m. there. Sorry, 4 a.m. here, 1 a.m. there. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Do I buy a ticket? I don't know. They're all disappeared. What do I do? She's like, oh, my God, just make a decision. So I'm
She
like,
doesn't give a shit.
I'm like,
either
whatever,
way.
$500, swipe, right?
Yeah.
She's like, I need you to get home because I was supposed to be home 2 days ago now. She's like, just buy one. I'm like, all right, $500, credit card, no worries, whatever. So after that, they're like, all right, we got the plane, we got the pilots. We're waiting to see if the pilots actually come. They walk by, everyone fucking cheers, goes nuts, right? We're getting in line to board, and the fire alarm in the airport goes off. I'm like, dude, Murphy's fucking Law. we're not getting on this plane, are we? This is serious. This is what's gonna happen, right? After the fire alarm goes off, it stops, and they make an announcement. That was a test of our emergency system. Buddy, you make that announcement before you fucking pull the button.
Before you fucking do it.
What are we doing here? Right? I'm like, you just fucking made me just choke on my own heart for a minute. So we get on the plane. We come back. Fucking incredible. Like, we got on a 2 a.m. flight that was supposed to leave at 10:30 just to get out of there, right?
Mm-hmm.
JetBlue, amazing job. They gave me back full refund on the flight at the 2 p.m.
Oh, nice.
Because I think enough people canceled on the midnight one and said, fuck it, we got to get on the 2 o'clock tomorrow, right?
Right.
So they needed my seat anyways, but shout out to them. They got it done. But I don't think I'll ever fly standby again. It saved me a shit ton of money, but just what an experience.
What an experience that was.
Dude, I was missing my family. I was like, I'm
Holy
never going to leave here. Kyle's like, I can get you on the next plane as like a priority guy, or you can buy a ticket, but like, he's like, I might have to live here. I might have to move to Las Vegas now. I might live at the airport. And we were there like 36 hours. We were the only people laughing in the airport. Like, we had just gone insane. Everyone else was like breaking down, upset, like crying, all this shit. And we're like dying laughing.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, dude, it was bonkers. Absolute
You
gong
must
show.
have just wanted to get the fuck home. So
It was
fucking
nuts.
bad.
Like, the chairs at the airport, pretty uncomfortable. You sit there for a couple hours, like, it kind of sucks, right? But like, I will never begrudge the airport again. Like, if I'm on a plane going somewhere, like, I'll get there fucking 6 hours early. I don't care.
yeah.
I've been through the ringer now. I've been there 36 hours straight almost, you know?
6 hours is fucking
No big
nothing.
deal, yeah.
That makes those videos. Just like it's our flights at 6 o'clock at night, and Dad's waking us up at 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go,
Yeah.
go.
For real. But we were like coming up with ideas of like what we can do and stuff. Like, we were like,
buy a
we
house.
ate here, we ate
Should
there.
I
Like, what
rent?
else can we do? These kind of things. Like,
Should I change my name?
yeah, switch it up. I'm never coming back. Living in LA. Yeah.
That's a fucking wild story.
Yeah. But the Golden Knights game, the drinking, not the gambling. I didn't do very well at the gambling.
No.
I think I lasted maybe 30 minutes and all my money was gone. Yeah, the drinking, the Golden Knights game, Topgolf.
Let's
Good
had
time.
a good time.
Yeah.
Right.
I checked one off the list too. I want to go to every NHL stadium, so 3 down. Fucking
A lot more to
29
go.
more to go.
Yep. You'll get there one day.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you had a great time. It sounded like a great time besides the flight situation, but that airport situation is going to be a solid story to tell
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone will ever be able to complain to me about an airport.
No. No. At least you have Kyle with you at least to hang out with. I thought about that too.
And it wasn't bad. As negative as the situation was, like, we were making light of it. Like, we were all right, you know?
You were fine. Yeah. I thought about that as soon as you brought that situation up, where I have tickets to Japan coming November. I'll be there for 2 weeks.
Oh, no shit.
But I'm just
Nice.
going by myself.
No way.
So it's just like, oh fuck, what if that situation happens to me, where it's just like me, just like by myself, like, all right, I gotta sit there for like another 8 hours waiting for my next.
Dude,
fucking
that's a
flight.
long one. We got a guy on the West Coast that we hang out with, me and Kyle. He's stationed in Okinawa, and he's saying
Nice.
like flying to and from Japan sucks, like,
Yeah.
because he's from the West Coast,
Mhm.
so he has like layovers LA, or like it's like a 4.5 hour layover in LA
So
from there to get there. you know?
knowing that it was just gonna be me, there's no layout.
A direct?
It's a direct flight.
Really, how long is it? 14?
It's 14 hours.
No
yeah.
shit.
Which wasn't that bad, because the last time I went, which was before COVID, that was like a 19-hour fucking flight. Because that was a 19-hour flight for us. Because where did we stop at? We stopped somewhere. I think
Was it in Europe?
I
I thought you stopped in Europe.
I think we did.
Was it London? No.
Fuck, I can't remember. It's been years. But I do remember Germany too was 16 hours. But that's because we had where the fuck did we go? We went to, it was another layover that we had to go. But like at this time around, I'm like, I'm not fucking doing layovers. I'll pay the extra to just go the entire way.
Yeah, I only fly direct too. I can't do a layover.
And then I made I actually got lucky as shit, especially because it's in November and I already booked everything. That the flight for both going there and out, I have like a aisle chair where just like it has some fucking leg room to hang out.
Yep.
Last time we went to Japan, it was me and 3 friends, and we needed in the middle like section of like the plane, and it was just like tight, can't fucking move for 19 hours. at the time like the Nintendo Switch first came out. So our friend Matt, we're just kind of just sitting there tight playing it. I was just so uncomfortable. I'm like, not fucking doing that shit again.
The way there dragged a little bit, but the way back I was just zonked because we stayed up the entire time, basically.
Just
nuts.
you were dead to the fucking world. Yeah. So I just hope that doesn't happen to me. But that's just my hope, because after hearing your story, I'm like, oh my god, that can actually happen to someone.
It's crazy,
Holy
dude.
Shit.
Crazy. I felt like fucking Home Alone when she's trying to get home to her kid that she fucking forgot. That was me. I was like, Kevin.
Before I go back to those movies sometimes, like the before 9/11 movies, and like watch like airport scenes. I'm like, fuck, it was like so different. Like, you ever see the movie Airplane, the comedy movie?
Yeah.
And just like people are just kind of just walking up, be like, hey, I want a ticket. Like, there's no security, no nothing. You're just like getting on a plane. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, security wasn't bad though. I mean, we flew like nationally, not internationally, but it was pretty quick and easy. The drug dog stopped me, which was nice. I would blame Luna. I was like, I got a 3-year-old dog at home. It's probably her. First dude was wicked cool. Second guy was all business. Didn't want to talk like a fucking word to me. Swipe my bag and everything.
I had that a few weeks ago. Amtrak, because we work next to Amtrak, so Amtrak police were there with like the sniffing dogs, and I was just walking. I was like in my work uniform, just kind of walking, and like a sniff dog just kept fucking following me, like sniffing me. I'm like, the fuck is on me right now? I was like, it's either the small dog that we have, or for some reason Luna's smell was on me. I'm just like,
maybe the rabbit too. Luna likes the rabbit.
Maybe that too. But I was like, dude, you make me sweat right now. Like, that cop's gonna be fucking frisking me in like 2 seconds
funny.
now. But yeah, that's great. I'm glad you had a fucking great time. I'm glad we're back. Took a little of a break. It was good. I think the breaks really help us just in general with these
a little
episodes,
reset before the playoffs, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
But like I said, we're going to leave what we missed in the past, leave it behind a little bit. We'll touch on a couple things here, but this is really just looking at the playoff picture right now, where we stand, and let's get into some hockey. What do you say?
Yes, let's do it. So exactly what you just said. This is where we stand currently, and that is as of today, Friday. So the teams right now that are in the playoffs for the East: the Boston Bruins, the Carolina Hurricanes, the New Jersey Devils, the New York Rangers, the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Lightning. And for the West, we have the Vegas Golden Knights, the Edmonton Oilers, the Colorado Avalanche, the Dallas Stars, the LA Kings, the Minnesota Wild, and the Seattle Kraken. And I just want to start with the East. So I brought this up to you today, or was it yesterday? I was just curious. You showed me a Vasilevsky save coming across, and I guess the caption was like, we're playoff ready. And I was like, oh, okay. And it just brought me back to the thought of last year when they lost through the Stanley Cup, that their roster was not as healthy as they had been. I guess they were dealing with like a bunch of different injuries and stuff, and it really hurt them. So I was like, I kind of want to look at like their injury list and see how they're doing. So I was like, I think I'm just gonna stick with that throughout like these teams currently right now to see what they're looking like going into the playoffs here.
I do want to touch on one thing with the broad overview of who's in and who's out.
Yeah.
We have 4 future bets for $20 each on the following 4 teams: the New York Rangers, who are in the playoffs, the Minnesota Wild, who are in the playoffs, the Vegas Golden Knights, who are in the playoffs, and the Calgary Flames, who are currently tied with the Winnipeg Jets and 1 point ahead of the Predators. But both of those teams have a game in hand. So we're looking to see if I can get 4 out of the 16 teams that I bought a futures bet on into the playoffs. That would be fucking sick, but I don't think Calgary's going to be able to get it done personally. I think they need Markstrom or Vladar to go on a hot streak. Vladar's been doing pretty well for them, I'll say, but not having that game in hand kind of worries me. But yeah, right. I mean, I'm really, dude, that would be so sick if I had 25% odds to hit, right?
Sweating.
That'd be nice. Would be nice.
Let's find out.
All right. Kick it off.
So let's start off with the East with the Boston Bruins here. They have the notable injuries here with Taylor Hall, who's game time decision currently. Nick Foligno is on the IR. Derek Forbort is day-to-day. And David Krejci is currently out with COVID. Not too crazy here. I think Taylor Hall, that situation, you talked about this before we even started recording. I think that's it's a salary cap issue, trying to get him back into the roster possibly.
Yeah, the only hard part is, like, how do you move that much cap space in a team like Boston, where they're so deep top to bottom? They're shelling out money for all their guys. It's really just like, what are they going to do? And I think at the end of the day, they might just leave him there for a little bit and then wait and see if someone gets fucking banged up. Like, Bergeron's been throwing the body around and getting hit pretty good for the past few games. It seems like guys are not targeting him, but like kind of giving him a little bit extra the past few games, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a nice little backup. What's that? That's what the Vegas Golden Knights. That's what the Tampa Bay Lightning has been doing.
Right,
just keeping guys on IR. Yeah, Nick Foligno. I don't know if what the situation was with Nick Foligno here, but Derek Forbort day to day is going to be nice. That's going to be a good. That's going to be a good body for the Bruins to have coming into the playoffs.
He stepped his game up lately too.
Yeah, and David Krejci's out with COVID, so we'll see. He's not out indefinitely. So Bruins looking good. I still see these injuries and think, no, the Bruins are still fucking looking good coming into the playoffs.
I think it's their cup to lose. Let's look at the East real quick for the matchups. They have confirmed that Toronto is going to have home ice against Tampa Bay as their matchup in the East. That's the only matchup that's been confirmed so far because of how much the standings can change.
Right.
So the Bruins are waiting to see if they'll have to play the Panthers, the Islanders, or the Penguins. Basically the same situation that I discussed in the West. Those three teams are duking it out. 3 games left for both of those guys, or all 3 of those guys, and they're within 1 point of each other. So We'll see who we wind up with there, but I think they should be able to make it out of the first round.
Should be.
We'll see.
We got this. No worries. Moving on to the Carolina Hurricanes here, they have Andrei Svechnikov, who's on IR, and Teuvo Teravainen, who's day to day. Svechnikov has 23 goals and 32 assists, which is a big hit for the Carolina Hurricanes. He's definitely up there in. I think he's second most for the Carolina Hurricanes right now with assists. So that's going to be a big hit for the Carolina Hurricanes if they can't get him back. Teuvo Teravainen's been pretty decent, so day to day that'll help him out. But big player to miss for like the playoffs. Again, the playoffs you need your guys who have been scoring and been getting the assists to be there for your team in the playoffs. And this might be that one little missing piece that might hurt the Carolina Hurricanes here coming into the first round of the playoffs.
I feel like, too, I think Teravainen steps his game up in the playoffs, so he's a tough one to be missing, too. They're currently 1 game in hand in the lead over the New Jersey Devils. That whole division can kind of flip-flop a little bit with these last 3 games, so we'll see where they shake out.
All right. Moving on ahead to the New Jersey Devils. No notable injuries, so these guys are coming in at 100% coming into the playoffs here, so we'll see how they do. Hopefully they keep the streak going as they have been for the majority of this season. Again, they're like top 2 teams in the NHL next to the Bruins in the beginning of the season, and I feel like the team just in general has really kept their own. Mackenzie Blackwood was kind of been up and down this season, but I think the team just in general has been able to help out scoring-wise to help him out. So I think the biggest situation with the Devils coming into the playoffs here, because we know playoff hockey is very different, it's going to be if Mackenzie Blackwood can be the brick wall that I think he might be able to be.
And I think lack of experience, too. I don't think any of these guys have, like, a veteran presence of, like, I've been here, I've done this before, you know? Like, the Devils aren't typically, a playoff team in the past 5 to 10 years, we'll say, you know? Right. So it's really about knowing what it takes to get there and grind it out and experience the physical toughness that come with a playoff series.
Right. And isn't, I just thought of this, too, because I'm just having a fucking brain fart right now. Isn't Vitek Vanacek on the Devils now, so that's some.
It's Vanacek and Blackwood. Yep.
Yeah, so that's some. that's going to be some
green goaltending.
Yeah, some good help for the Devils here. I'm looking at him now. Okay, yeah. So the Vitek Vanacek's more so the starter for the New Jersey Devils. 2.46 GAA, .910 save percentage. So I think I'm wrong on that. So maybe Vitek Vanacek's going to be the starter coming into it.
Oh, yeah. Vanacek's been their starter this season.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I feel kind of more comfortable with that thought.
I don't. He doesn't have any real playoff experience. He was with the Capitals, and they got in, but they weren't in there deep, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. But I don't know why. I see that it's – how people post on, like, Instagram, like, they'll just post, like, a logo of something and be like, what's the first – what's something that comes to mind when you see that? New Jersey Devils, for some reason. I see that logo, and I'm like, Mackenzie Blackwood. I don't know why I do.
Not Jack Hughes, no? Face of the organization, no?
No, sorry.
Oh, okay.
I just don't.
Right. Yeah.
I like Jack Hughes. Nothing wrong against him. I just see Mackenzie Blackwood.
Mackenzie Blackwood is not important to that team. There are much more important players on that roster.
Yeah, you're right. Moving on here to the New York Rangers. The only notable injury they have is Patrick Kane, who is day-to-day. Kane has 5 goals, 5 assists since being with the Rangers. I think you talked about this. You added this before we started recording too. Is his hip problem? They might be just giving him day-to-day to kind of rest up a bit before coming into the playoffs here. So
yeah, I saw an article that said he's basically down for like maintenance, just like rest up a little bit. He should be good to go when the playoffs come around, which is great to hear for New York Rangers fans.
And if you want to talk about goaltending here, you got Igor Shesterkin, who has the playoff experience here too. So it'll be nice to see if Kane can step up his game here and figure shit out in the playoffs. So he's going to be an interesting look in the playoffs to see how he can contribute to the New York Rangers here.
Ready for this power play too? Kreider, you're running a 4-1, right? 4 forwards, 1D. Kreider, Zibanejad, Panarin, Kane, and Fox. Right? That sounds nice to me.
Yeah.
That sounds like an all-star lineup.
Yep.
And I mean, Zibanejad just steps it up to a whole nother level in the playoffs, and he's just had like a career year almost here.
Zibanejad's so fucking good.
He's sick.
Yeah. So it'd be nice to see. I want to see where the fucking Rangers land. See who they face in the East. Moving on to my guys, the Toronto Maple Leafs. The only notable injury they have is Matt Murray, who's on IR. Samsonov has took the starting spot with 40 games played with a 2.40 GAA and a .916 save percentage. Murray sitting with 26 games played with a 3.01 GAA and a .903 save percentage. Joseph Wall is the backup for Samsonov. He played a total of 9 games in the NHL between this year and last year with a 2.02 GAA and a .932 save percentage. So hopefully Samsonov can keep the fucking fire going for Toronto Maple Leafs.
I am licking my chops at the prospect of a Toronto-Tampa Bay first round exit for the Maple Leafs. How sick is that going to be?
Yeah.
Vasilevsky is just going to shut the door, playoff status. Like, I'm totally going to mush the Lightning right now, and they're going to bounce fucking gentleman sweep 5 games. But for the Maple Leafs to lose after this good of a season in the first round again, oh my God.
Man.
What do you do? It's just they're in like a shit division where like it doesn't matter where you end up, you're fucking going to be fighting someone, you know?
I had him too. I had him.
We'll see.
Right before the season, was like, they fucking got this, and it just the fucking hurt right here is just brutal. If Matt Murray was in, he's got
Oh no, dude! If I'm happier with Matt Murray out than in.
Well, I'm just talking about at least on the bench where he's got playoff and Stanley Cup winning like a background to him, where you know Samsonov has a starting spot, but here's Matt Murray being like, all right, this is what I did in the playoffs. This is how I won the cup.
Well, he's still going to be around the team, so he'll be able to tell them and shit, you know. But it's just, I don't rely on Matt Murray, man. I think he's just a head case at this point. He's borderline like a calm Jordan Binnington. That's what I'll say.
You're not wrong.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he's just like, he got his one, and now he's kind of like in his own head about
Just
shit.
kinda hanging out.
The injury, too. The injury bug always gets him. Oh,
Injury. I think he's had a few, like 1 or 2 concussions, right? That's kind of putting him down as well. So I don't know. We'll see. I read something. I don't know if it was April Fool's, to be honest. But I did read something saying that I guess the Toronto Maple Leafs are already looking to ship Matt Murray. At the end of the season.
God.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, well, we'll fucking see how that goes.
I don't think that would come out right now. Like, hey, we're getting ready for playoffs. Yeah, we want to get rid of our fucking starting goalie. Let's put that out here today. I tell you what, though, I would say out of all the potential matchups, I mean, this is the only one that we have confirmed, but like Devils, Rangers, and Tampa and Toronto, I think Tampa-Toronto is my favorite one to see. Like, I think that's going to be so sick. Mm-hmm. That's going to be the one
now that
to
we
watch.
know it's in, but yeah, Tampa-Toronto is going to be fucking
Yeah,
great.
and if we get Devils, Rangers, I think that one will be awesome to watch too.
I think that's going to be we're going to get to Lightning right now, but that's going to be a perfect entrance for the Tampa Bay Lightning here. Just like, you know, are we capable of kind of cruising through the NHL season and just be fucking
They do every year, baby. They do every year. Let's go.
So let's get into the Lightning here. They're the last team in the East so far. They have Anthony Cirelli, who's day-to-day, Eric Cernak, who's day-to-day, and Brendan Hagel, who's day-to-day. So, again, day-to-day,
I'm hoping that those are all just maintenance too. Like, give them a couple days off and get them back
off.
for the playoffs.
So that's just 100% Tampa Bay Lightning coming into the playoffs there versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. So a fucking 100% Lightning versus the Leafs.
Yeah.
So
let's go.
We'll fucking see what happens.
So let's take a look at the 3 teams that are on the outside looking in, trying to get in. We got 2 spots left for these 3 teams: Florida Panthers, New York Islanders, and Pittsburgh Penguins. Who do you want to see in, and who do you want to see out?
You know, I want to see the Penguins out because I need a fucking reset for my Pens. I really need to see them reset.
I don't think like them being out is going to help the reset though, because now you're in the middle of the pack. You're drafting 15th. You know, like it's not going to be enough lift. You know,
no.
With the guys that are fading out, I think Malkin and Letang's contracts potentially might be up.
Potential, yeah.
I forget.
Who's Islanders and who?
Penguins, Islanders, and Panthers.
Oh, Panthers. You know, I've been kind of fighting myself between the Panthers and Islanders. I really do like the Islanders, but I want to see the Panthers. I loved watching the Panthers in the playoffs last year. I want to see the Panthers again this year. I want to see Matthew Tkachuk still fucking go.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the Panthers a little later on here, but fuck.
I mean, one team that I don't think we've said 2 words about is the New York Islanders. We haven't really said a fucking thing about them this season.
Nope.
But I think if they get into the playoffs, they're another team that can be sneaky, knock out a team in the first.
Another goal that's sneaky as shit, Ilya Sorokin.
Yeah, he can change the game.
I think I did a breakdown with him probably midway through the season of how fucking good he is, and we still haven't talked about him ever since.
The Buffalo Sabres are one team that I'm very disappointed aren't in. They had the potential to be in the dogfight and then just kind of kept dropping games here and there. It would have been so cool to see them get in and then have the goaltending carousel with Devon Levi back in the mix. Maybe, potential first start in like a game 6, we're going to lose kind of thing.
I don't want to say anything, man. We're going to talk about Devin Levy in a little bit, but
I'm just not happy with the Panthers or the Islanders getting in. I feel like they're just kind of like, here's your fucking ticket, man. Go ahead, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's going to bite me in the ass and they're going to fucking upset. But
enjoy the first round.
I don't plan on picking either of these guys to win the first round.
No.
But that is the East as it stands right now.
As it stands.
Any other notes?
That's it, unless you want to get right into the West.
Let's do it.
All right, so for the West, we got the Golden Knights. For the notable injuries there, they got Mark Stone, who's on IR. Aiden Hill, the goalie, is out entirely. Will Carrier is out. Shea Theodore is day-to-day. And Logan Thompson is day-to-day. So two goalies are out. Well, I mean, Logan Thompson's day-to-day. Mark Stone with 17 goals and 21 assists went out with back surgery and will not return for the rest of the season. So Mark Stone is just out entirely. The goalie tandem currently is Jonathan Quick and Laurent Persois. I expect Logan Thompson to be the starter with the better stats of a 2.65 GA and a .915 save percentage. I do think Jonathan Quick has been playing better with the Vegas Golden Knights, but so far his stats still haven't quite improved. I think he left the LA Kings with a 3.50 GAA. I think he's still sitting there with a 3.45.
Yeah, that's factoring in his LA stats. The team was 10-0-2 when he came over.
Yeah.
Like since he came over. I think Jonathan Quick has single-handedly came in and ripped that starting spot from Logan Thompson. I think so, dude. He has been very effective for them. I got to see Laurent Persois play for them when I was there. But I don't know. Like, I don't know if they're really going to go with Thompson.
All right.
He's a proven commodity, but at the same token, like, Jonathan Quick has cups.
Are they going to do the thing where just like, all right, Quick, you're in for the first game. Let's try you out. And then next game, if he doesn't do
I feel like
well.
when you have, like, goaltending issues like that, you can't, like, if you have the goaltending question of that in the playoffs, you can't even look at that until game 3.
Right.
You got to let the first 2 games go and see where your first goalie stands,
Yep.
And then from there, that's when you start to get in your own head about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think you can win a cup with a tandem.
Yeah, you're right.
Right? Like, it's never going to be a tandem that wins the cup, I don't think. It's always got to be a solid starter.
It's always, exactly. It's that one fucking goalie that's just fucking.
And it doesn't have to, that doesn't mean that the tandem can't get you there and you don't have the hard decision when the playoffs come. But, like, once you pick a guy, like, that's your guy.
Mm-hmm.
The backup might come in and steal a game, I guess, but, like.
It's happened.
I just, in any cup run, like, of recent history, it hasn't happened to the point where like, those 2 guys won the cup. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's always like,
right.
I don't know. I think you got to go with Quick, just from veteran playoff experience. If he gets hurt, he gets hurt. You have a great backup in Thompson.
Yeah.
And I think those are the two guys. I don't know about Brossoit being around for playoffs.
Yep, I can see it now. But the more you talk about the goalie situation, the more I keep thinking of how it's these playoff situations that can help make a goalie's career.
Yeah,
like,
look at Jordan Binnington.
Look at
Matt Murray.
Look at Braden Holtby.
Yep.
Like, remember, it was the Bruins versus the Caps. Who was it? It was Cristobal Huet and Varlamov. They both went out in, like, 2013. Am I wrong? And then we're just like, this Braden Holtby comes in. We're like, oh, we're gonna fucking destroy him, and he just shut the fucking door. And look at him. Look at the career Braden Holtby's had.
I also think teams play differently in front of a guy like that because now it's like we need to play that much better because we're on our fucking second string, third string goalie here, you know?
Right.
And it's an unproven rookie, so it's like block as much shit as you can. Don't let the puck through. Hard body, drive him wide.
Yep.
And then the other thing that I want to say is, I don't think it like makes their career. I think it gives them a name and a paycheck, and then from there, you got to prove yourself one more time, don't you think? Right?
Yeah, right. Yep.
Holtby never did,
right,
and his career kind of fizzled. Binnington hasn't yet, and the St. Louis Blues are kind of fizzling. His career hasn't fizzled yet, but he's another one of those guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Well, Holtby won the cup.
Right, and then he kind of fizzled. That's what I mean.
Jumped around teams. Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
So it doesn't, like, make the career for you. Obviously, you now have a Stanley Cup, so, like, you've reached the peak of your career, but it doesn't, like, make you the consistent.
Make or break you.
Yeah, it doesn't make you the consistent, like, I'm the goalie now, you know?
Right. No, 100%.
It's nuts to think about.
I actually talked about that on my new Mic'd Up episode where I was like, I did bring up the fact that, like, a Stanley Cup is great under a player's belt, but I think when you're talking about a single player, whether goalie or just player just in general, I was like, I don't think, because you win a cup as a team. Like, that's just a thing. Like, as a single player, as a single goalie, you're just not a one-man team. You can't win a cup that way. So I was like, if Ovechkin never won the cup, would you take brownie points away from the career that he's had?
A little, yeah. It's like he never got over the hump, kind of, But I think when it comes to, like, a goalie, it is a team sport, but it's like every cup-winning team, you look at the goalie and you say, that guy just won them a cup.
Yeah.
I think, right. Jonathan Quick won that team a cup. Like, they're hot. They're red hot at the right time. Vasilevsky won those guys a cup. Binnington won that guy a cup,
Yep.
Like, you can go, like, way back, like Thomas.
Thomas.
You keep going. It's Fleury. It's you have to have the hot goaltender.
Hot as fucking shit. Yeah.
And you don't necessarily need the best team. Like, the St. Louis Blues were in dead last, I think. I think it was the year that they won the cup. In January, they were dead last, and they got into the playoffs.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
right?
Came right back
so
around,
it's like they weren't the best team. It's just they got hot at the right time with a good goaltender behind them. But I don't know. I mean, I look at Alec Martinez, I forget, on the Golden Knights, a guy that scores the game-winning goal for the LA Kings, and that's a guy that it didn't make his career. Like, in the same token as the goalie, right? It got him a paycheck, and it made his career, and that's the highlight of his career. It's his peak, but, like, he's not a bad player per se, but he's just kind of on the roster in Vegas. You know?
Right.
I don't know how to explain it better, but something
no.
along those lines.
I see it. I can see it.
It's the closest comparison I got.
Yeah. All right, so let's keep moving on here. So we have the Edmonton Oilers. The notable injury here is your boy Ryan McLeod. 11 goals and 11 assists this season. A stat I want to bring up here for the Edmonton Oilers that's going to be fucking beautiful for them in the playoffs here. Leon Draisaitl hit NHL history this season, became fourth all-time in power play goals with 30, right behind Mario Lemieux from 1989, who had 31. So if you have a fucking bombshell like Draisaitl on the power play in the playoffs, oh man, he's going to be a fucking force to be reckoned with. So.
Power play is such a factor in the playoffs. If you can keep that thing kicking, like, that's just free goals. You know what I mean? You're up a man, you make it happen, you convert as much as possible. That's a huge selling point when it comes to a playoff.
100%.
Oilers, though, 9-0-1 in their last 10 on a 6-game winning streak. They are getting hot at the right time. Mm-hmm. They're a team that I think people don't really respect right now.
No.
I think they're a sneaky contender to win the Cup in the West. Or, sorry, come out of the West for the finals.
Yeah. They just have such, like, goaltending issues. Like, Jack Campbell, like, how do you think he's going to be in the playoffs? Like, the whole Mike Mike Smith situation, just like drop dead really fucking quick, and they're just like, well, we need a fucking starter, and they're like, well, here's Jack Campbell.
I think I'm going to go ahead and say that I think they got it figured out. I mean, they haven't lost in 10 games. I think Stuart Skinner has stepped up in a big way over Jack Campbell.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think he might honestly get the start for the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. I'd rather see Stuart Skinner start over Jack Campbell in the playoffs.
And I don't think they're in one of those situations where you second guess yourself. You got to ride Skinner and,
Yep, and just like trust the process.
Yeah.
Moving on here to the Colorado Avalanche, the last year's Stanley Cup champions. Notable injuries, they have Pavel Francouz, who's on IR, Arturi Lehkonen, who's out, Cale Makar, who's day-to-day, and Darren Helm, who's day-to-day. Lehkonen with 20 goals and 29 assists will be a hurt for the team. Gonna have to rely on Georgiev, who hasn't had much help backup-wise, currently switching between Keith Kincaid and Jonas Johansson as his backup. Georgiev has a 2.53 GA and a .19 save percentage with 58 games played this season, which is third most games played by a goalie this season. So fucking Georgiev is just fucking playing his ass off because he just doesn't have the backups to help the team out. So a goalie that's literally brought the team to the playoffs here. So
I think he got what he wanted, though. I mean, he was in New York as a 1A, 1B, and he comes here and he solidifies himself as a starter.
Right.
8-2-0 in their last 10, 3-game win streak. Colorado's looking good. They're getting ready for playoffs.
Yep.
I do think a lot of those guys are going to be back. They still have 5 more games to play before playoffs kick off in 9 days.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how that goes for them.
Right.
But as long as they can stay healthy and kind of ride it out, I think they'll be better off if they can get that, number 1 seed solidified. They're tied with Dallas right now, but they have a game in hand at 100 points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that Arturi Lehkonen will hurt him. I wish Pavel Francouz would be back for Georgiev, but again, just kind of got to ride Georgiev and see what happens. But Cale Makar only being day-to-day is going to be a fucking beautiful, beautiful help for them as just as well as Darren Helm here. So
we do have 2 teams duking it out in the West for that 4th spot in the Central Division.
Mm-hmm.
The Winnipeg Jets have 89 points. The Predators have 88 points. And actually the Calgary Flames, like I mentioned, 89 points in the Pacific. So we could wind up with a 5-3 out there, 5 from the Pacific and 3 from the Central.
Mm-hmm. Let's move on here to the Dallas Stars. The notable injuries they have is Mason Marchment, who's out, and Rupe Hintz, who's day-to-day. Marchment with 12 goals and 19 assists. A good little playmaker here from Mason Marchment is out, but I don't know, not too bad here. I think Jason Robertson will hold the fort. Jake Ottinger is going to be incredible. Last year, he really fucking showed. Jake Ottinger really showed what he can do, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Who were they playing against? Calgary Flames, who were just insane at the time. And just like, what was it, like 62 shots on net, some crazy shit, and Jake Ottinger was just shutting the door. There's just nothing you could do. There's nothing the Dallas Stars can do. It's just like, it got to the point in overtime. I still remember watching that game. It just got to the point in overtime. Just like, Calgary's going to score. It's just a matter of when. And it just got to the point with Jake Ottinger just having to be a brick wall. But I think that experience for Jake Ottinger is really going to fucking help him out in the playoffs here, especially with the Dallas Stars.
Dallas is such an exciting team in the playoffs. They're one of my favorite teams to watch. They're just electric. Like, top to bottom, they have fucking all-stars. They have studs, and like they're kind of like one of those sneaky teams that no one really thinks of, but I do think that they could make a pretty decent run here.
100%. But I feel like I could say that about like half these teams that are here too, so it can't be all of them, and one team's going to have to... There's going to be a bunch of shockers, I think, in the first round here. I think. That's my thought. Moving on here to the LA Kings. They have Gabriel Velarde, who is day-to-day, Mikey Anderson, who's day-to-day, Kevin Fiala, who's day-to-day, and Alex Edler, who's day-to-day. So a bunch of day-to-days. Should be fine going into the playoffs. It's what the Kings want. It's what the Kings need. Do you think they're going to make it past the first round?
I do. I think they're a sneaky out of the West team.
Yeah.
If they can beat, call it Edmonton, I think this division right now, you have Vegas, Edmonton, LA, and Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty fucking tough. I mean, we kind of looked at the division and said, that's weak, that's weak, that's weak. Seattle's been pretty hot lately. 6-3-1, 3-game win streak. The Oilers are hitting their stride. The Golden Knights are 7-1-2. The LA Kings have kind of fizzled off a little bit. What's his name that came over in net for them from
Phoenix
Columbus?
Copley?
No, from Columbus.
Oh, Jonas Corposalo.
Yes, Corposalo has actually had kind of a bit of a resurgence here as well. I think that there's a lot of young players on this team, so that's kind of going to be their downfall.
Mm-hmm.
But if they can get past that first round and get like a little bit of an upset, like maybe that's enough to propel them, kind of like the Stars did going to the Cup Finals that year.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll see. What the fuck? Sorry, I'm looking at the.
Yeah, I do think like the Pacific has oddly enough gotten like very strong. Like I didn't think twice about any of these 4 teams, and now like they're all starting to kind of hit their stride a little bit here going in. Like I said, I think the Kings have fizzled out a little bit, but I mean much more scary than the Central. Like Colorado, yes, they're a playoff team, 8-2-0 as I mentioned, but something about them this season, like I don't see the magic. You know?
No.
I don't know what it is.
Like they're just a great team. I'm looking at their daily face-off now, and like you look at what they have, man. The Quentin Byfield's fucking first.
Too young though, no playoff experience.
That's
like
what I'm saying, Anze Kopitar,
the grind, the grit,
who's been unbelievable this season. I don't think many people have been talking about Anze Kopitar, but hold on, let me look at the stats here with Anze Kopitar. Where is he? 27 goals, 42 assists. Just
probably
fucking
lugging ice time. What's his average time on ice?
20,
Fucking 27.
Yeah, no, 20.3.
20? That's not bad.
That's not bad at all. But man, he's just like
I kind of thought he would have been fucking carrying the weight.
Playmaker with almost 30 goals here. He's just looking really good for the LA Kings.
What's his plus minus? He's a big 2-way guy.
I don't have his plus minus on here, but
I got it.
You got it. But yeah, I mean, looking really good. Quentin Byfield. Why is he fucking first line? That's weird to think about.
Why wouldn't he be first line?
I'm just looking at his stats right now.
Plus
3
18 for LA.
Oh, okay, that would do it.
Oh, sorry, that's Kopitar.
Oh, yeah, that would do it. Yeah, Quentin Byfield, only 3 goals, 18 assists. They might have just thrown him on there, unless daily faceoff's kind of weird. But yeah, I mean, just looking good. What am I trying to find here? Wow, that's kind of weird. But yeah, I mean, look at the power play unit here is looking good too. Alex Iafallo, Anze Kopitar, Victor Arvidsson, Drew Doughty, Adrian Kempe. Drew Doughty, like, great experience.
It doesn't scare me. That's not a scary power play. Like, I look at the power plays out east, and I'm like, fucking wipe them. You know what I mean? I look at Edmonton's power play. I look at Colorado. I look at Vegas. I'm like, these teams, like, those power plays are fucking scary. LA, Seattle, Minnesota, Dallas, those power plays don't scare me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So what makes you think they're going to push past the first round?
No, I'm saying if they can get an upset in the first round and knock, call it Edmonton, Vegas, even Seattle, if they end up matching up against them, which I don't think is possible.
Mm-hmm.
If they can get an upset in the first round, I think it's enough like firepower for them to be like, all right, we can do this and be like the Dallas Stars of a few years ago that went to the Cup Finals.
Oh yeah, yep, I can see it. All right, moving on here. We got the last 2 of the West we're going to talk about here. So the Minnesota Wild got in, and the notable injuries here, Mason Shaw, who's out, and Joel Eriksson Ek, who's on IR.
He's a big factor for them, too.
Yep, 23 goals and 38 assists, and that's going to fucking hurt the Minnesota Wild here coming into the playoffs unless he can somehow get back. Marc-Andre Fleury will be making his 17th consecutive playoff appearance with the Minnesota Wild here coming into the playoffs. So you want to talk about goaltending, you want to talk about playoff experience, it's going to be Marc-Andre Fleury here that's going to be coming in. Whether he's a starter or whether he's going to be a backup, I think Fleury right here is going to contribute a lot to the Minnesota Wild here for the playoffs. I think
that he's going to be fucking Swiss cheese. I think he's not going to be the Fleury of past, and he's just going to be gone.
Just Dunzo's bunzos?
Yeah, like I see him and Quick on like opposite ends of the spectrum. I think Quick is going to have a really good playoff for Vegas, and I think Minnesota is going to just be the classic Minnesota first round, second round exit.
So do you think Fleury's going to get it, or do you think Cam Talbot's going to get the starting spot?
I think it should be Fleury, but I could see Cam Talbot getting it. Didn't he leave Ottawa so that he could be the starter?
Yeah.
I mean, at that rate, I think it should be Talbot, but they're on a 3-game losing streak, 5-3-2. I don't know. I mean, he dropped one to Vegas when we were there. He was in net against Brossois, 4-1 final. And then I don't know if he played again when they went back to Minnesota.
Oh, where's Cam Talbot out here? Daily faceoff as Philip Gustafsson as Marc-Andre Fleury's side here. I'll have to look him up. But Philip Gustafsson, too, 29-6 record, 2.03 GA, .932 save percentage. Oh, 3 shutouts, too.
It almost seems like the 3 of them have split the net. And I think like this is another team where you're going to get that goaltending carousel. It's been streaky this season. It's been kind of spotty. So I don't know. I'm not really worried about them.
No.
Kaprizov coming back would be fucking huge for them. He's going to be back, I think, next game. He's been out on IR for a little bit.
Right.
And I think the stat was, I'm probably going to butcher this, but he factored into 45% of their scoring chances. So, like, he was either putting the puck in the net or the primary or secondary assist on 45% of the Wild's goals when he's on the roster.
We both of us got the whole Cam Talbot situation mixed up. It was he went to the Wild to the Ottawa Senators.
Oh, the other way around. That's right, because they were bringing Fleury in.
I was like, in my head, I'm just like, why would?
Yeah.
But yeah, because it was who was it for Minnesota? Oh yeah, because you're right. Yeah, Fleury came in and he was wanted out, but yeah, I mean, I guess we'll fucking see what happens. So I think Fleury's going to be that starting spot. You think so too?
I don't know. I think it depends on who's hot at the right time. And right now, the team's not doing too well.
No.
They're 3-game losing streak, like I said, 4 games left in the season. So I think they got to figure it out. Give them each 2 games, and fucking whoever's better in those last 2.
Also, you figured out not to bet on them, right?
Yeah. Well, no, I bet on them the wrong night. The next night they would have covered.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so for the last team in the West here, the Seattle Kraken. Notable injuries here is Andrei Burakovsky is on IR, and Burakovsky has 13 goals and 26 assists. But Kraken have been unfucking believable this season. They're like, what was the stat we have? Like they have 30 plus play. No, what am I trying to say? They have
13 players with 30 plus points.
Yeah, which is fucking unbelievable. And it kind of puts like the Bruins. The Bruins are like second with along with like 2 other teams too, and they're like 5.
I just
behind.
think that stat doesn't really scare me all that much. Like, that's great. That's all good and dandy. It's basically, everybody's got to pull their own weight on this entire roster, which isn't also a great thing. Like, you kind of want like your top 2 lines pulling the weight, and then the bottom 2, obviously you want depth, but like there should be the top 2 lines should be head and shoulders over the next 2, and I don't really see that in Seattle. And when we look at that stat, they had 13 players with 30 plus points.
Yep.
There were 5 teams tied with 11 players with 30 plus points, and the Bruins were the only like notable team on there that I thought were like really good.
Yeah.
I feel like the other 3 of the other 4 might have been out of the playoffs. So I don't know if that's like a key to success for them. I do think 6-3-1 on a 3-game win streak heating up right now. Like, this team's got some fire behind them. I just don't know what kind of a buzzsaw they're going to be going up against. Call it Colorado, call it Vegas. Like,
right. I want to say what does help them out with those 13 plays though is the West, because I feel like we talk about the West and how compared to the East, it's just a lot easier for these teams.
Yeah.
Like if you're a great team and you're facing like bottom team like West players, it's gonna be an easy fucking ride.
Yeah, I agree. I see that.
Yeah.
But I just think like these guys are kind of damned, like, no matter what. I think they're just going to be bounced. I think playoffs in Seattle is a great thing for the organization, great for the expansion. It's going to be cool to see. The crowd's probably going to be fucking bonkers.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that at least.
Nice.
Vegas-Seattle matchup would be kind of cool, too. A battle of the 2 newest expansions.
That'd be nice, yeah. Oh, yeah. That'd be cool as shit. This is Kraken's first year in the playoffs.
Yeah,
right?
because they've been around for what, one other season?
One other season,
and they did not make last year.
No. What a fucking come around for the Seattle Kraken. They drafted so fucking weird and so poorly, and like they just looked bad the last season, and now all of a sudden this season, like they're just fucking 180.
I don't know if they look that much better. I think everyone else looks worse around them. You have the Ducks, the Sharks, and the Canucks, who have all been dumpster fires, and Calgary cooled off so hard, like they kind of just took that 4th spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and just kind of held on to it. Yeah. But that's it. And then by next Friday when we record, I think everything will be more set in stone.
Yeah. Next Friday when we record, I believe there are no NHL games scheduled. All the teams will be set. The matchups will be set. We'll be able to dive into it, drop the episode for you guys on Monday, so you're ready to listen and caught up for when the playoffs kick off that night.
Right.
But we do have one thing to cover, too. 3 teams in the West fighting for those last 2 playoff spots. I'm sorry, last 1 playoff spot. We have the Winnipeg Jets, the Nashville Predators, and the Calgary Flames. Who do you want to take it?
Wow. So the Winnipeg Jets?
Winnipeg Jets, Nashville Predators, Calgary Flames. Only one more team can get in.
I'm just going to say... Fuck, dead air. I'm just going to say Flames, just because.
Just because? No real reason?
Got no real reason.
I love to see the Winnipeg Jets in there just because they have like a great crowd, a great atmosphere, like fans that give a shit.
Yeah, that too.
The Predators would kind of be boring to me, especially this season.
Yeah.
But I'm going to pick the Flames because we got a fucking futures bet on those guys. We want to make some money.
Come on, Markstrom.
Yeah.
Baby.
It's going to be so cool to see, dude. I'm actually really excited to see like how far my teams make it, you know? How cool would it be if we have like the Rangers versus Vegas, just guaranteed money? Like whoever wins the cup, like we get paid, you know?
I'm going to be betting so much on this fucking podcast.
I know. Who'da thunk?
Who'da thunk? Going to lose all that money. But, all right, so this is other hockey news for everyone listening in too, and this is kind of seems to be all your stuff here. So if you want to dive right into that for all of us.
We did forget to take care of these two things that I just put on the bottom of the notes for you.
Oh, there we go. So let's jump right into that then real quick. Oh, that's right, because I was talking about it earlier this episode. All right, so Florida Panthers goalie Alex Lyon had a hell of a night and a season the other night versus the Senators. He made 56 saves, which was second all-time in franchise for most saves in a game, while also going 5-0-0 in his last 5 starts. To add to the Florida Panthers here, Matthew Tkachuk also having a hell of a season, becoming the first American since 1994 to have back-to-back 100-plus point seasons. So, remember, I feel like this is a while ago, we were talking about Matthew Tkachuk in Florida, where just like, oh, that trade kind of didn't seem right. Where
I feel like both teams lost.
Oh,
don't you think? I feel like both teams lost. Like the Panthers got so much worse after that trade, and so did the Flames.
Oh, all around.
All around, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Like Matthew Tkachuk is still having a good season.
Yeah.
But the team it just
all
got
around.
worse. Like no Uyghur, no Huberdeau.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Who was the defenseman too on the Florida Panthers? Most points all time by a defenseman at 56 or 54. I forget who it was.
Was it Brandon Montour?
Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's
Brandon
right.
Montour. But yeah, hell of a season for Matthew Tkachuk. Yeah, just like last season. Alex Lyon was actually pretty
making
cool.
him think. I mean, you paying fucking Bobrovsky $10 million. You gonna start him? Or you starting Lyon? Like he's kind of showing some stuff here.
See what happens. And let's move on here to the Boston Bruins. They are en route to making history. They have 4 games left this season with a 61-12-5 record. They face the New Jersey Devils, Philadelphia Flyers, Washington Capitals, and Montreal Canadiens. They need one more win to tie most wins in a single season that is tied between the 2018-2019 Lightning and the 1995-96 Detroit Red Wings with 62. So let's think about this. Yeah, I think New Jersey Devils for the Bruins might be the hardest game out of all. But think about this: Philadelphia Flyers, the Caps, and then the Montreal Canadiens. That's if you could think Bruins wise.
Let's kick a couple dogs while they're down. You know,
fucking like 3 wins.
Philly's
right
looking
there.
like shit.
Or if
Washington's looking like shit.
Or if they can get 4 wins right here, fuck, dude, like 65.
Yeah.
Imagine going 65-12-5. Do you think any team is gonna see a team like the Bruins have had this fucking season? Any team. I don't think the Bruins are going to redo a season like this again. And I don't think we're going to see a team like the Boston Bruins this season do what they've done.
I just think like the teams in the league are so much closer and neck to each other that it's harder to get a team that stands head and shoulders above the crowd like this. Like this record might stand for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the Detroit Red Wings record only stood for like 20 years. But the Lightning one was just set a couple seasons ago. Like, so it kind of like goes against my point too. So I don't really know. But it is nuts to see like a team that only has 17 losses with 4 games left in the season.
Yeah, we will have more information on this next Friday to see where the Bruins end
all
up.
wrapped up.
Yep. So we'll see what happens. Maybe NHL history making right here.
Yeah. I mean, I think as the everyday average fan, like they don't give a fuck about this. Like,
I don't think
if you look back and they win the cup, or if they don't win the cup, regardless, like you don't look at it and say, "Man, I can't believe they got that record. That's crazy." No one gives a fuck.
No,
it's all about the cup, baby.
Right. No one sits there and just like, well, no one remembers the other team in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yep. They're just like,
yeah.
If you weren't paying attention at all, and be like, the St. Louis Blues won the one. If you weren't a Boston Bruins fan,
I don't know. I kind of remember who each team beat.
Because we're in Boston. It's because we're in Boston, though.
No, but who each team beat? You know what I mean?
Each team beat, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty good about that.
Who did Washington Capitals beat to win the Stanley Cup?
Vegas.
Okay. Never mind.
I stay up on that at least. That's it though. Like I'm not like, oh yeah, Washington was the best team that season. Or like fucking.
Oh, yeah.
The only one I really remember is Columbus upsetting Tampa because an 8-1 upset was pretty
fuck
important.
Yeah.
You
That
know,
was crazy.
and that's something to remember.
Mm-hmm.
But that's different. Regular season shit don't matter.
Shit happens.
All right, you guys ready for some NCAA Frozen Four coverage? We have BU, Quinnipiac, Michigan, and Minnesota in the Frozen Four this weekend. The winner is going to be announced before this episode drops because the championship game is being played tomorrow. Minnesota, the number 1 seed, is going to be facing Quinnipiac, the number 2 seed, tomorrow afternoon. It's good to see some local teams back in the mix after last year's Frozen Four. I think it was Michigan, Minnesota, Minnesota State, and Denver ended up winning it last year. So now we got a Boston team, a Connecticut team, and then you have Michigan and Minnesota.
Nice.
Good to see.
Mm-hmm.
The team, I just think like Quinnipiac, it's kind of nuts. They've been red hot this season, surprising a lot of people. The team and organization have also come like a very long way over the past decade or two. And just to touch up on Minnesota, they lost in the semifinals to Minnesota State. So I think they're going to be playing with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder and they have some experience from last season losing to Denver.
Yeah, I love going back and seeing like if you ever get the chance, go like to the NCAA websites for like different teams, and they have the rosters up, and you can go by year and go to like 2007, 2006, and like see like the names they have in the roster. Like Jesus Christ, like. They're like NHL players now have like won the cup and have like great careers.
Back then, it's crazier to see like the juniors, but like now the guys that are coming out of NCAA are arguably better prospects than the juniors up in Canada. Yep. It's nuts. Mm-hmm. Michigan forward Adam Fantilli, it's been announced, has taken home the Hobie Baker Award as a rookie this season. Just 18 years old. He beat out his teammate Logan Cooley, an Arizona Coyotes draft pick, and Matthew Nees, a Toronto draft pick. Fantilli, who you may remember from winning gold with Canada at the World Juniors this year, was the top scorer in the NCAA, registering 64 points in 35 games, and also earning the Tim Taylor Rookie of the Year award. Fantilli is projected to be drafted 2nd overall behind Connor Bedard. Yeah, pretty nice. So,
nice.
I think that's going to be an awesome matchup to watch. I'm going to touch up on the last note afterwards, but Quinnipiac versus Michigan. Who you got? I'm sorry, Minnesota.
Ooh.
Adam Fantilli is not on either of these teams. He's on Michigan. I get it mixed up with the M's.
Yeah.
So
the M's. I want to say Minnesota.
Yeah. All right. Cool. I was planning on taking Quinnipiac, so we'll make that our post picks for this week. I think.
I figured you're gonna go there, but I like Minnesota. I like watching the Minnesota games and shit too.
Yeah, and they, like I said, they lost in the semis last year, so I think that they're gonna be pretty pissed off and want to win.
Right. I love watching these games. If you guys haven't. They definitely put these games up. If you're not around too, if they put these games up on YouTube to check them out. But I mean,
it is electric, dude. When I was at TD Garden watching these games last year, it was fucking
insane.
Awesome experience. I got glass seats for Denver winning, like so cool.
The fans / students that are there just fucking insane. They're all shit faced.
They got the bands too, like the straight up like fucking old school.
Man, it's such a great time, and it's like. It's not like NHL players. It's a bunch of players trying to prove themselves to be draft picks,
also not being selfish too.
Well, also not being selfish. Exactly right, and they have to like show as a team that can do shit, and it's just a fucking crazy experience. And if you think about it in a certain situation where you watch this and realize like. You get to see plays like before a possible blow up in the NHL. You'd be like, oh, dude, I remember seeing this dude for Minnesota fucking get this game-winning goal in the NCAA shit, and here he is on, I don't know, Seattle Kraken fucking doing the same thing.
It creates a lot of fans too, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, a little NCAA touch-up. After making his NHL debut for the Buffalo Sabres, it was announced that goaltender Devon Levi won the Mike Richter Award for the 2nd year in a row as the best goaltender in the NCAA.
He's been unfucking
And he got his win, too, for the Sabres. That was sick.
That was sick.
That was awesome.
He made a fucking great save, a little stretch across there with the pad. He's just looking incredible. He is getting the spotlight since he got in. I didn't realize Devon Levy has a certain what's the word I'm looking for? A certain
ritual.
Thing what?
Ritual.
Yeah, ritual that he does where was it during like intermissions where like he kind of like
TV timeouts.
Yeah. He'll like kind of put his legs down and just kind of just look at the net and like reset like his mindset. I'm like, oh, this is interesting.
Did you see that it was like a Star Wars thing too?
Yeah, someone edited like a Star Wars thing too.
Pretty funny.
This is fucking interesting, but hey, if it works, because holy shit,
it didn't work for the Star Wars guy. That guy dies. Spoilers.
Spoiler alert. The guy that was able to watch all of them.
Yeah, right. Burned them all.
The non-movie guy.
Yeah, but I got my Saturday pretty mapped out now. ESPN2, 8 p.m. for the game tomorrow. Gonna watch that. I got the Masters on during the morning.
Hey,
That's gonna be sick.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see a giant fucking tree fell
Yeah.
on like hole 17 and like didn't kill anyone?
It's fucking insane.
I was like, that is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
The
number of people they had right there too.
So I don't know if I'll get the exact angle for everyone watching, but the angle that I saw was the tree fall, and it looked like it was going to be away from everyone. And then the more it fell, the closer it got to people. I'm like, there's no fucking way. And just like
It's
it
crazy.
missed.
Dude. So scary.
It's like,
fucking
holy
nuts.
shit.
Another cool little side note about the Masters for you golf fans. I want to say this might be the first event they've had where LIV and PGA golfers are playing on the same tour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so pretty cool to see. We'll see if there's any drama that stirs up.
I saw someone took a photo of, it was like literally some grass field for like all the private jets, and there was like fucking like 10 of them, and he goes, well, all the LIV golfers fucking showed up for this. And it's like 10 private jets just like all lined up. I'm like, God, the fucking money they made.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Fucking nuts.
But it's kind of crazy, like the dedication you need for golf. It's wild. I noticed that.
I'm dedicated, baby. Oh, I didn't even fucking mention, dude. When we missed 4 flights the other day,
Yeah.
my playoff game was Monday. I was stuck in Vegas. My team got shelled 7-1. It was fucking salt in the wounds. So we're out of the playoffs. Season's over.
Dunzos.
See you later. My Sunday night pickup league's done. And now I just have Tuesday 6 a.m. What made me remember is because I have Tuesday night golf league, too.
All because you got stuck in Vegas.
Yeah. Sucks. It's fucking such a shitty way to go out, too. Like, I don't even get to say bye to the guys.
Oh,
Like,
that's
teams just, I'm just done.
That's just it?
Yeah.
Dunzos?
Yeah. But my golf league starts up first week of May. It's going to be on Tuesdays. Very excited for that. Dedicated to the craft. You know me.
Mm-hmm.
Craft beer.
They're going to be good. They're going to be practicing.
Oh, I'm going to be sick, dude. You're not even
the
going to believe.
drive.
Yeah. You're not even able to keep up with me next time we
You're
play.
gonna be buying fucking like $300 clubs and shit.
I got $140 to go spend at Golfers Warehouse. Got to get down there.
I didn't realize I have so many guys that I work with that are like really into it. Like some guy, I was just talking to someone today. It's like, yeah, I got back into it last week, and I didn't realize how like dedicated what he is. Like he was telling me he only brings 3 balls with him. He goes, if he runs out, like if he loses them, he dips. Like
That's pretty smart. Like, that keeps you honest, too. And you're like, I don't know. It's like, that sucks because you just wasted money.
right.
You
But-
fucking imagine fucking first tee box, fucking gone.
See you
And then you're like, all right, I'll see you guys.
See you guys later. Bye.
Just teed up 3 times and left.
But I guess he enters tournaments, so I was like, oh, interesting. And then another guy that I was working with, he goes, yeah, I got back out there too. And they're talking about some driver or whatever. I can't remember what it was, but it was like a $700 driver. I'm like, fuck that.
Why?
I don't know. I can't see myself.
Huh.
I mean, I'd rather play
Fucking
hockey.
gear nerds, dude. You're a gear nerd too. What do you mean? Fuck that.
I'd rather play hockey than.
Yeah, they'd rather golf, and they're just spending their money in a different pool,
You got a good point.
right? Like, I feel like goalie gear and like expensive ass golf clubs, it's like comparable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
I
Good
don't know.
point.
I just kind of thought you would like respect that a little bit, and you're like, no, fuck that.
Fuck that. I'm just thinking about me. That
Yeah.
was my.
No, I
can't,
don't think the bum ass golfer like me and you that can barely fucking break 100 needs a $700 driver. You know what I mean?
No. I
Right?
barely need the one I have.
Yeah, barely use the one I have. Fuck that thing. Shank.
If I could play with a putter, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right. That's it.
That's it. I
So-
do have an announcement to make for you listeners too. This
Mm.
nip is going to be dedicated to me because I'm the fucking best. But I do have to let you all know that after this NHL playoff season, I will be retiring from the Post to Post podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We haven't talked about what the plan's going to be, but I assume probably taking the summer off.
Mm-hmm.
But this is going to be it for me.
Yeah.
I got a daughter to raise. Got to focus on that a little more. And yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for having me on and having me as your co-host. We're gonna have a great NHL playoff season,
Oh yeah.
and I'll obviously always come back if you need a guest
Mm-hmm.
and a fill-in host. So
Nice. Awesome. Great way to go out.
cheers, buddy.
Cheers, bud.
Thanks for everything.
Thank you. It's been a ride. It's been a long 3 years.
Yeah.
COVID we started, right? Or toward the end of 2020?
It's like a year and a half, I think, right? Didn't we start mid-COVID season, which would be December 2020? So it's technically 3 years on a calendar.
Oh, yeah.
But it was December
But it was
20,
December 20.
and now
So 2
we're in
years.
April 23, so 2.5.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Fucking flew by.
Yeah.
Got a lot happened. But we'll see.
Yeah, we talked a lot of hockey. We learned a lot. We misinformed a lot of people about a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, we learned.
We didn't teach anyone how to pronounce any names.
No, fuck no. We butchered that shit.
I would love for like some dedicated listener to scrub through all of the fucking mispronunciations we have and make a compilation of
And
us
just
like
shit on us.
fucking just us saying all the names wrong.
All
Ryan McLeod.
McLeod is gonna be like the first one up there.
Yeah. All the J's that we say and all the h's that we say is ja.
A lot of difficult names.
It's not an easy league.
I will say, when I watch like highlights, there's like a lot of names that I realize like that even like NHL announces. Like one announcer will say a player's name different than another.
So
like,
that I think comes down to the announcer not taking the time to learn it, if that's the case, because every announcer that does play-by-play has a list right in front of them of each team's players' names, numbers, and the phonetic pronunciation of it. So it says like exactly how you pronounce your name. You know how you spell it out? Like Chris Ronan, it would be spelled out like Kris.
Yeah.
And then ROWN. N-I-N. So it's Chris Ronan. You know? So every name is supposed to have that if they need it.
Okay.
So I don't know why it happens, but you're absolutely right. Like some teams do, and some teams just fucking throw that shit out. Like I don't care.
And there's so many names where you look at it, you're like, what the fuck?
Jesse Puljujarvi.
Yeah.
Cal Clutterbuck.
You know how I learned how to spell Jesse Puljujarvi's last name is because every time I fucking write it, Puljujarvi.
Yep.
So anytime I see Puljujarvi, my first thing I go to
it's like Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday. Yeah. Puljujarvi is
my favorite name in the entire league is Brady Shea. Skjei.
Oh yeah, Shea. Yep.
So
I think I fucked that up in the beginning. You're
that one's
like,
great.
No, it's Shea.
That one's great.
But there's a bunch of names out there. So I don't know. We still got the playoffs before our official sign off here, and I don't know. We'll see. Give the rest of the summer to figure shit out for me and see what happens. I don't know. A lot on the plate right now, so. We'll figure something out.
Yeah, mic'd up with Matt is still going to be going, obviously. I mean, the goal is maybe get some fucking in the crease with Chris going. Because, I mean, why not, right?
Because why not? Because you don't play anyway.
I could just do my Tuesday 6 a.m. I got fucking former NHL guys, AHL guys, college. So it's pretty good. It'll be fun. I'll just be groggy as hell. Yeah.
Don't want to talk at all.
I just fucking 6 a.m. Like, once I warm up and I'm going, it's fine. But, like, getting out of bed in the morning is brutal. The winter's the worst because, like, you get out of bed and it's pitch black. You get off the ice and it's still pretty dark. But in the summer, it's like, this is kind of nice. You know, it's like, it's bright out. The sun's rising. I'm up. I'm going. And then when I'm done, I'm like fucking revitalized, ready to attack the day.
I used to do 5 a.m. skates on like Tuesdays or whatever, but it got me fucking ready for the day.
Yeah. If I could do it 7 days a week, I would.
Really? The early mornings ones? Really?
That's also like my game plan. Since you guys can't hold me accountable because I'm not going to be on this camera anymore, my game plan is to be a cool morning gym guy.
Oh!
So, yeah, get it going. Because now I don't have hockey at night.
Yeah.
The only night that I'm out late is Tuesday night for golf. And that's, I'm done by sunset.
Yeah.
Maybe at the bar till midnight, but one night a week at least. And then, I mean, just make Wednesday my rest day.
Nice.
Right?
Yep.
Tuesday, 6 a.m. skate. That's my workout for the day. And then probably Monday, Thursday, Friday.
Get a nice hernia like me.
Yeah. or not.
Nice little callback. Yep.
Yeah.
Just don't do fucking abs like I've been doing. But yeah, we'll be talking about this more so later on. And I got this. You brought this up a few weeks ago, and it's definitely been on my plate for a while to figure out what the hell to do. And I think this opens up a lot more opportunities, more so than ending something. Like, I'm obviously mic'd up with Matt, still going to be around. All like around the boards will still be around. But I think with you being out, I have a Shure mic and everything that I could bring to the house and like all the stuff too. And I think I absolutely loved doing like the breakdowns of like goalie saves or just like goalie stuff. Where
Yeah.
I think I could just like do a personal, just like videos up, like kind of breaking down plays and stuff. I love doing it. I just don't have the time to. But now that this is coming to an end, I'll have more time and I'll have the stuff now to
Yep.
to actually.
And
do
you
it.
can make those into 5-10 minute videos too. Those are better too.
Those are
People
better.
click on those more often, less of a commitment.
Yeah.
I think that you mentioned doing like a little one-off show that's not hockey, just shooting the shit kind of thing. Like you could get that up and running.
Yeah.
I also, if you end up getting it going, we could do like a written blog. I'd be fine to do stuff like that too.
Oh yeah.
Twice a week, I could type some shit up.
Yeah.
You know.
Because we'll still have our website up.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we get a blog page going. I can start getting some posts going,
Nice.
even before playoffs leading into them, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of opportunities.
A lot of
but
opportunities. Yeah.
in the crease with Chris, incoming, I think.
Incoming.
Before probably
So
by
you gonna edit that?
next hockey season. Yeah, I gotta talk to you and get software for myself. I'm not gonna fucking put that on you. Be like, yeah, Matt, fucking edit my videos, make me look good.
I am.
You would just dust me, be like, hey, guess what? 7-0, they lost.
I am currently 2 games behind right now. Like,
You catch up pretty good though.
yeah, I mean,
You're always talking about I'm behind, but like, you catch up pretty good.
because I gotta I focus. Like I'm
Yeah.
Like I've gotten to the point now, like my phone is just like.
Yeah, you're going
away.
through so much footage, it's nuts.
So just like what are you doing? I'm like, I'm editing. Wait, you still editing? Yeah.
You need like
I'm editing.
the on-air sign that we have,
Oh yeah,
right?
over here.
Right. You need that. Like put that outside your room so no one's fucking bothering you. Do not disturb, basically.
We had this that we got, and yeah, I should probably just fucking throw that
Right?
on there.
Be like, hey, don't come in
hey,
here.
don't fucking come in.
That'll actually come in handy if you're doing the YouTube breakdowns. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that'd
Right?
be cool. This lights up too, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, how good it'll look with
Need
the
some batteries.
Oh yeah, this thing's dead. When did you get this? You got that
I
like?
got it for Christmas, I think.
Yeah, you got that a while
Pretty sharp.
ago. But
Yeah, thank you again to Corona Premier for sponsoring the podcast, the official beer of the Post to Post podcast. 2.6 grams of carbs, 90 calories. It's fucking good.
really fucking
Save yourself some fucking fat. Shave some pounds off.
summer body, baby.
That's right.
That's what we want.
That's why I'm going to the gym for once.
Hmm. I really switched over these Corona Premiers.
That's awesome.
Actually, my back right tire had a flat. I just kept having to put air in it, so I ended up going to what the fuck is that tire spot up
Sullivan?
in Quincy? No, it's a different one. Town Fair Tire.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, we'll plug it for you. I'm like, okay, cool. Just take the keys. And so they took the keys, and the guy's just like, you always keep like a case, like a Corona behind you. I'm like, oh, like response that he goes, oh, like really? He goes, yeah. So it's like I literally have a case in the back for my ads. Like,
Oh,
I'm,
no
I'm
shit.
afraid
That's
to
funny.
open it
That's
because like I don't want it all falling out. It's just like it's there for whenever I need to do an ad.
Yep,
It's
yep.
there. So thank you to Corona because I've been putting these fucking down left and right. They've been good for editing too. I really like that. I feel like an alcoholic, but like I like cracking open like a few of these
They're
and just
smooth,
like
dude.
yeah, and just like having a few while I edit. Like
I mean, they're
it's a
not
nice
bad either. I think
relaxer.
it's 4%. That's actually pretty good for a beer that's low cal, low carb.
Yeah.
Usually they're like 3.2, 3.5.
yeah. Usually like
Four is pretty good.
like I was doing Trulies for a little bit, and I just between the sugar and shit, I was like I was feeling like groggy. Like I'd do whiskey ever so often.
These
but
things don't hang me up. Like
No.
tomorrow, I won't have a hangover
nope.
from these.
I'll feel I'll feel nice, but
Yeah.
I'll feel like my stomach and everything will be fucking fine. So Corona Premier has been unfucking believable.
They so they plugged your tire, right? Like, and that's it. Like you good?
Yeah.
Dude, they did that to 2 of mine too, and I'm still riding around on them. That was like fucking 3 months ago.
Really?
I don't know. I probably need new fucking tires, but they fucking jammed my shit up. I was like, thank you.
I actually went in there and said I just need one new tire. And the
Sir,
guy
we
was
don't do that. This is a Wendy's.
the guy was actually really cool about it. He goes, let's go check. So he went back there and checked, and he's
That's
like,
cool. He
dude,
didn't hose you.
yeah. He's like, dude, your tires are fine. Like, he's still got
That's
like,
awesome.
it's like your threads are like halfway through. He
That's so
goes,
sick.
If we can plug this for you, it'd save you like a shit ton of money. So he looked at it and he was like, yeah, we found 2 nails in like your tire. And I was like, oh shit. He goes,
That's probably from driving through the yard that you're in. I bet.
probably, yeah. So he showed me the plug and how everything works, and he's like, we do all this. It's probably gonna take me like an hour and a half, 2 hours. and it's gonna cost you $13. I was like, what?
$13?
$13.
And you worked for an hour and a half, 2 hours on it?
Yeah. So I was like, word. So I was like, I paid for it, and he's like, you can sit down over there. I'm like, take your time. I'm gonna go to the gym. So I just took an Uber over to the gym.
Nice,
did
dude.
my
There you go.
shit, and then came back.
Yeah.
So fucking tick, because it was like every day, every other day, I was putting air in it. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Because I have a truck, so like one truck tire.
I drove by
shit ton of money.
I don't know where. I forget where it was, but it was 20-inch some fucking brand tires, and I was like, I should have sent Matt a picture of those. And I don't know how much they wanted, what it was. It was a sign. They were four like fucking tricked out like fucking big ass tires.
Oh,
like,
really?
I don't know. Yeah, I forget where they were though. I don't even remember.
I would have threw them on.
Right? I don't remember where they were, how much they were.
It's
just a sign to tires.
I was telling you the scumbaggery I was gonna pull just to save money. I was gonna rent a Toyota Tundra, just rent one, and just like take the tires off of that, throw it on mine, and throw mine on the rented Toyota Tundra. Just give it back to her. Like, I don't know, man, the tires were like that when I got them. Save myself a lot.
Looks like you're doing burnouts all day.
Just bald fucking tires. All right, so that's all I got. That's all I got for tonight. But we'll definitely have a shit more to talk about next week. If you don't win any more Bruins tickets or decide to go to Vegas again or...
Never again. I'm done. I said never again last time. It's really never again now.
All right, buddy. So you ready to call us out?
Yeah, with that being said, thank you everyone for listening. I haven't done this in a while. Thanks everyone for listening. If there's anything you want to see us cover next episode, let us know. Our links are in the description, and we'll see you all next week. Thank you again to Corona Premier. Bye, guys.
Peace. Right?